Hello, friends. It's Carla, your online doctor, with today's Live in 5. Today is Thursday, July 30th at 5 p.m. So today is kind of part two to what we were talking about yesterday. So I've mentioned before the belief by many virologists around the world that COVID-19 was manipulated in a lab. These scientists have data to support their theories, but this will rarely hit mainstream media or even scientific journals. Now, how this virus interacts with our immune system is just one example. Why do many infected people have antibodies that disappear in a few months? I'm not aware of any other infections or infectious organisms that can make the host, meaning the person getting sick, forget how to make antibodies. Okay, so that just doesn't happen. Why would immunity just seem to disappear? Now, the answer is what we discussed yesterday. Our immune system has a lesser known method in creating immunity to a virus. It's called cell-mediated immunity and is expressed by our T cells. Our white blood cells have B cells and T cells. The B cells are the ones that make the antibodies. That we're talking today about the T cells, and again, we talked about that yesterday as well. Scientists are collecting data and are indicating that approximately 40 to 60% of healthy people already show at least partial immune response to COVID-19 due to prior exposure to other coronaviruses that cause the common cold. Now, if these findings prove to be accurate, then we may be much closer to herd immunity than experts in the media are saying. And maybe this life-saving vaccine won't need to be, and it won't be an issue that we will need to be faced with. Okay? The good news is they believe the virus is mutating and becoming less lethal. Now, our bodies depend on adaptive immunity, mostly antibody-mediated, but in this case, cell-mediated as well. Now, optimal cell-mediated immunity requires adequate nutrition and proper function of your thymus gland. Our T cells are produced in our bone marrow, but they're immature when they come out of the bone marrow, and they travel to the thymus and mature there. The thymus is kind of here in the upper part of your chest, just below the bones here. Okay, and they travel there to develop into mature T cells. Now, our body makes different forms of T cells, just like all the other different cells in our immune system, which most people don't know about. They make cytotoxic T cells, can directly kill virus-infected cells. So actually kill the cells where the virus has already gone into and started replicating inside of. So that is really good to know. And as well, they can also, those cytotoxic T cells also can kill cancer cells. Now, helper T cells signal other white blood cells to bring them in to fight the infection. Okay, so they're basically calling for help, right? Regulatory or suppressor T cells help the body know the difference between attacking something foreign or the body's own tissue, meaning an autoimmune response. And memory T cells recognize specific antigens on proteins, antigens, which are proteins, on foreign cells that trigger faster immune response when encountering that antigen a second time. Sounds quite familiar to what antibodies do. So a study published in June, it was June 29, so just about a month ago, showed family members who were exposed to COVID-19 who never got sick and never had detectable antibodies had COVID-19 specific T cells and memory T cells. That is immunity, my friends. Okay? Another study published on July 15th found memory T cells specific to antigens on SARS-CoV-1, but found the antigens were identical to those on SARS-CoV-2, which is COVID-19. Okay, The memory T cells were formed over 10 years ago with their original infection, and many provide immunity to COVID-19, to the SARS-CoV-2. So this is really a very a good thing that they may be finding, that just because you test negative for the antibodies doesn't mean you don't have these memory T cells that you may have had from previous coronavirus infections, or that you may have developed in response to COVID-19 and just never had any symptoms. You may have been asymptomatic, you've been mildly symptomatic, whatever it is. So if in fact they start studying more people and get a broad sampling of the population and find we have 40 to 60% of the population that potentially already have these T cells in their bodies, we may be approaching herd immunity way faster. Again, this is based on information that I have read, that I'm learning about now. I'm not saying we're there. I'm not saying this is 100% fact. But stop listening to the media and getting fear-driven information, because the media is doing a good job of trying to keep us informed, but to keep us in under their control of sorts, okay? Every media station has a political agenda. We're not here to talk about politics, but it is real. So make sure that you are getting your information from sources you trust. Get a variety of sources, kind of filter it out yourself, figure out what you feel is the best information that you are getting, and be smart. In the meantime, as we head into August this weekend, it's not all doom and gloom. Okay, I wash my hands, I hand sanitize, I do wear a mask when I'm out in public and I can't social distance. These are the things that we may have to do right now to just get past this and hopefully get back to life as we love it. Not as we know it, but as we're used to and how we like to live. So, on that note, I don't have all the answers. I'm just here to chat. Put in the comments some things that how you feel about it. And let's have a conversation, not a debate, please. Anything that's debate-oriented will be deleted. I don't want to have arguments. I just like to have conversation. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow for another Live in 5.